What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Roman Reigns celebrates 1000 days as Universal Champion, and WWE will give him a new belt, but it didn't go down very well. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including who is CM Punk facing first in AEW, a top WWE superstar sidelined by a neck injury, good news for Omos, the WWE returns to India for a massive event, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Solo speaks. Good swerve. Last night's Bloodline drama was as good as ever, with Solo Sikoa speaking. The Enforcer didn't lose his mystique as a strong silent savage by uttering a few words. Instead, he showed he's more than the Bloodline's muscle. He sees what's going around him and acts accordingly, in this case taking out Jimmy Uso with a Samoan spike after Roman Reigns told Jimmy he was finished. Number 2, LA Knight heads to Money in the Bank. Last night's Smackdown was hit and miss, but LA Knight's segment was a grand slam, with Knight putting on a terrific match against Montez Ford in the Money in the Bank qualifier and advancing to the first June PLE. Knight's popularity seems to have no end, and a Money in the Bank briefcase win may be all he needs to jump into the main event. Number 3, Io Sky Asuka confrontation. Io Sky vs Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship? Well, take our money now, as this one is guaranteed to be a summer sizzler. While Sky hasn't officially turned babyface, it's clear from the fans' response that she's become a favourite, and a rivalry with Asuka could help her get over even further. Number 4, Bianca's Brawl. Asuka is going to have her hands full if the 2nd June Smackdown is any indication of her title reign. Not only did Io Sky confront the Empress of Tomorrow, but Bianca Belair showed up eager for payback after Asuka cheated her way to the women's title at Night of Champions. This wasn't the wildest brawl fans have seen, but it was certainly entertaining, and it was good to show that the EST isn't going to vanish just because she lost one match. And Theory and Pretty Deadly make a damn good team. Last night's 6-man tag match between the Brawling Brutes and the team of Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly was predictable, with the heels getting the win. Nonetheless, Theory and Pretty Deadly make a good team, and pairing the Young Upstart team with the WWE's resident Young Upstart is a slick move that should help Elton Prince and Kit Wilson get over faster. Perhaps the best part of this segment was Austin Theory piggybacking on the night-long celebration of Roman's 1000-day reign, as Theory said that while Reigns' run as champ is inspiring, it's nothing compared to Theory's win over John Cena at WrestleMania. A-Town boasted of his own 1000-day celebration, finishing off by saying if he keeps getting opponents like Sheamus, he'll be champion forever. But that was a good what about the bad, as number 1, Hit Row is ruined. Game over for Hit Row, which hasn't done anything notable in the last 8 months. Hit Row's heel turn didn't provide any kind of spark, and fans have to be asking how long before they're on main event or heading back to NXT. Number 2, lack of matches. The Smackdown was certainly lacking in matches last night, as the show revolved around Roman Reigns and his big celebration. What matches the WWE did have were all over the place, with occasional moments of entertainment, but with finishes that were far too predictable. Number 3, did Grimes get the memo? Cameron Grimes wants Baron Corbin, but apparently Cameron didn't get the memo that Corbin is on NXT. Then again, the WWE's writers missed the memo too. Whatever the case, does this mean Grimes, who was only recently called up to the Blue Brand, is heading back to NXT just so he can beat down Corbin? This segment was a real puzzler that hopefully will get resolved before it falls apart. Number 4, a boring belt. The WWE's decision to give Roman Reigns a new championship belt was a good one, since the promotion is going with the idea of one world championship for each brand. However, could the WWE put any less effort into designing the belt? Now, you may not agree with us on this one, but first, it looked like someone took a can of gold spray paint and just covered up one of the old belts. Second, it had nothing to distinguish it from other titles that should have featured a personalized touch, such as putting Roman's symbol on it or something else to recognize Roman's run. And we get it's on the side plates, that's not any different to the old belt. Number 5, Roman Reigns overload. Last night's celebration of Roman's 1000 days as champion was everything fans would expect if they've been following Reigns closely for the last 2.5 years. An endless parade of hype videos that came one step short of defying Reigns while doing nothing to put anyone else over. What was ironic about last night's celebration was Michael Cole announcing that Seth Rollins will defend the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw just 1 week after winning it. Conversely speaking, it looks like the WWE is going to have Roman team with Solo and Money in the Bank against the Usos, which means a 2nd consecutive PLE where Reigns doesn't defend the title. And Lacey loses again. Poor Lacey Evans. Despite several attempts to repackage her, the WWE still has no idea how to book her other than as enhancement talent. She has personality, an eclectic moveset, and can show she can entertain while she's playing a sassy Southern Belle or battle-ready Marine. The WWE missed the bus with Evans as a program against Lynch in 2019 and Flair in 2021 showed that she had main event potential. It was nothing downright ugly, but a very hit-and-miss show, especially for one following a strong pay-per-view. Judging from last night's show, the WWE apparently feels it has some time off before it needs to prepare for Money in the Bank, which is why Smackdown seemed more like a pre-taped show than last week's actual pre-taped show. What do you guys think of the blue brand this week? And what do you guys think of the belt? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Now first we looked at what's next for CM Punk, or really what's first. On top of today's news is the latest on CM Punk. Now that Punk has been confirmed for an AEW return, what's going to happen with the controversial star? Well, according to Fightful Select, AEW is working to make sure Punk's run is peaceful and that he has programs planned to work. AEW is taking some measures to make sure as much talent that do have issues with Punk, or other talent for that matter, are kept separately as part of the brand split. One of the ways that this deal came through was Ace Steel being brought back to the company. As for possible opponents, both Jericho and Samoa Joe's name have come up. In addition, word is that CM Punk has taken a liking to the work of Switchblade Jay White, and that he could be an early opponent or program with CM Punk along with Bullet Club Gold. What do you guys think of Punk's first matchup or feud? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Seth Rollins wasting no time as World Champion. It looks like Seth Rollins isn't wasting any time as the WWE's new World Heavyweight Champion. He just won the title at Night of Champions and he's already booked to defend the challenge of Damian Priest. Rollins is embracing his role as a fighting champion as he recently shared his upcoming schedule online, comparing it to Roman Reigns' paltry title defense. Next up, big plans for Gunther. It looks like IC champion Gunther's push could get even bigger as WRKD Wrestling is reporting Roman Reigns isn't the only superstar inching closer to history. We've learned that there are internal talks for Gunther to pass Honky Tonk Man's all-time historic IC championship reign. He'd officially break the record on September 6th. And should this happen, let us know in the comments down below. Next up, what happened after Smackdown? If you're curious about what happened on Smackdown after Solo Sikoa took out his brother Jimmy with a Samoan spike, well, according to a tweet, Jay helped Jimmy get up to his feet before the two men were interrupted by The Miz, who apparently had a match. Next up, WWE superstar undergoes neck fusion surgery. It's time for a medical update on current Raw superstar Braun Strowman, who hasn't worked a WWE match since 1st May. Strowman updated the fans on Twitter saying, "Road to recovery starts now. Level 1 fusion on my C4-C5 vertebrae in the great hands of Dr. Cordova at Andrews Sports Medicine was a great experience considering. Thank you WWE for always taking the utmost care of us." The Monster Among Monsters had recently formed a tag team with Ricochet, but that appears to be on hold. As Strowman added, "This was very scary to find out about having to have done, and they were there every step of the way reassuring that I was going to have the best care possible. This will take a little bit of time to heal from, but I assure you, in the words of the Terminator, I'll be back. Thank you all in advance for the well wishes. Much love." And we send our best wishes to Braun for a fast and full recovery. Next up, did Battleground hurt Double or Nothing? Last weekend was a big one for wrestling fans as it featured two WWE PLEs and an AEW pay-per-view. However, did the WWE's decision to air NXT Battleground weaken AEW's buy rates? Well, the decision to book the black and gold brand against AEW looked good on paper, as the idea was why pay for Double or Nothing when you can watch Battleground with your Peacock subscription. However, Meltzer noted on the 5th June Wrestling Observer newsletter that it would appear from early returns that the NXT show had little or no negative to the AEW show, and based on our responses, it would appear that the decision to put NXT Battleground head-to-head with this show led to people skipping the NXT show rather than hurting the show, even though the other show had a better price point. Basically free versus $50, since WWE fans that watch big shows would have subscribed to the major pay-per-view shows because it was by far the weaker marquee show. Meltzer argued that the big lessons of this week are the same lessons of the last 2 decades, and that is you can put a free show against a $50 show, and if people want to see the $50 show, then they're gonna buy it nonetheless. The other is that on television, as the Smackdown ratings showed, live versus tape still doesn't mean a lot to the vast majority of TV viewers. Competition continues to remain hot between WWE and AEW as the WWE schedules several shows and events to compete against All Elite. This includes the WWE's decision to air NXT against Dynamite when AEW debuted, and last year's decision to hold Clash at the Castle the same weekend as All Out. Next up, good news for Omos. It's good news for the Nigerian prince as Omos has gotten married. Omos' friend AJ Naduka, aka The Judge, tweeted a wedding photo of Omos and his wife. Congrats to Omos and his bride on their recent nuptials. And finally, WWE returning to India. Last but not least, good news for members of the WWE Universe in India, as a big event is apparently in the works for the start of September. According to Meltzer, the date 9/9 is being discussed for the first major show in years in India. India is a huge market, but logistics make it difficult for the WWE to run more shows there than in other markets. There's no word on whether this is a one-date show or part of a tour of India. And there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.